Hey there. If you've been watching my channel at all for a while, you'll know that I've got a old 66 CJ5 with Dauntless, just my old beat up plow Jeep. And you can see the battery is kind of not in, battery cable's not good shape, but this old battery's kind of trashed. But my voltage regulator I think isn't working, putting out some crazy readings. So I picked up a new voltage regulator and I'm going to replace it right now, and then I'm going to replace this battery as well and see if my voltage readings are better with a new voltage regulator. And then hopefully every time I want to plow snow, I won't have to jump start this thing. It might start on its own. We'll see. Get this new, it ain't plugging in there very well. Let's see if that stays. Makes a good connection. But yeah, change out this voltage regulator, throw a new battery in her, see what happens. Maybe it'll fire up. That'd sure make it easier. It's got leaks. I gotta fix some leaks. I always tell my wife, man, this thing needs work. It's such a beat up old Jeep, I don't want to put money into it, but it has a job. And that engine actually runs good. As dirty as it is and old as it is, it runs good. So, you know, I don't feel like it's worth putting money into because it's just an old beat up plow Jeep. But if you want it to do its job, you gotta maintain it. So for right now, we're going to throw a new voltage regulator in it. I'm going to replace the battery. Pretty much everything leaks. I think it's holding antifreeze, but fuel leaks, hydraulics for the plow leak, brakes leak. So if it sits for a while, every time I come out here, I got to fill things up and then jump start it. Since the fuel leaks, I usually have to take the air cleaner off, pour fuel into the carburetor and prime it while jump starting it. So it's always a trick to get it fired up and get it running. Once it's running, it does a good job plowing. So I'm gonna do one thing at a time. Like I said, right now, or in this case it's two, voltage regulator and battery. And then next I need to order a master cylinder rebuild kit. This is a 66, so it's an early CJ5, which means it's got Kaiser Willys running gear, not the later AMC. That being said, it's got the old master cylinder down on the frame under the driver's floorboard. So it's a little tricky to get to. It ain't up on the firewall like modern vehicles. So, but at some point, I gotta pull that out, rebuild it. I gotta find out where my hydraulics are leaking, if it's a hose, if I need to replace a hose, or if there's a fitting that needs to tighten up or whatever. But the brakes, I'm really tempted to wait till the spring, to where if I pull that all apart, then this thing's down, and if we get a snowstorm, I can't even pour fluid in it and get it going good enough to plow with. So let me go grab a battery. We'll swap that out and see if this thing will fire up. Alright, as you can see, this cable is bad. I'm going to have to do something about that at some point, but there's still a lot of strands connected. That don't make it okay, but it makes it workable. This one needs to be changed because the clamp itself is broken, but it makes contact. So I should be replacing all of these, but I'm not right now. Right now, I just want to see if getting a new battery and voltage regulator, or a different battery, not so much, not brand new, but a known good battery. Get a known good battery in, a brand new voltage regulator. See if we can fire this pig up. And oh man, that don't want to turn. Well, that ain't good. Just broke the bolt head right off. Must be all that corrosion. We'll get this one off here. And well, yeah, it comes off. I guess that's the main point. Alright, we'll get this old battery out of here, drop a different battery in, and see what she does. Alright, I'll make sure this is, alright, that is still the negative on this battery, same as the other one, positive. Alright, so that should be making good connection. New voltage regulator in place. So theoretically, this thing ought to fire it up. I don't want the camera falling down in the fan, so I'm going to move the camera and we'll give her a shot. Guess that choke's over here. Alright, so what I thought was a known good battery, I don't think it is a good battery. It reads 12 volts, but as soon as I turn the key, it goes to 0. So I think that tells me that it can't handle a load. There's bad cell, something to that effect. Let me give it one more try. I think those are in there good, making good connection. So let me give her one more try. Yeah, as soon as I turn the key, try to start it, straight to 0. So I think it's got a bad battery. So I'm gonna try one more thing. I'm going to grab the battery off my CJ2A and set it in here. We have fired that engine over on that battery, so I know that one's good. So let me swap batteries one more time and we'll see if this thing will turn over. Alright. Now on this one, the positive's over here, so we got to make sure don't cross those up. And that barely reaches whatever that white wire is there. Probably ignition. I don't know, maybe lights, I don't know. Alright. Move the camera once over here out of the way so don't fall into the fan. And we'll try firing it over again. Man. Something ain't right. Something ain't right. Because that battery, we fired up the Jeep, the CJ2A with it. I just turned it over last week, and that battery is strong, and it's been on trickle charge the whole time. So what's going on? Alright. I'm not sure what's going on here because I know this battery's good. Maybe the last battery was too, because it's doing the exact same thing this one's doing. So, where's my problem? Is it the voltage regulator? Is it the alternator bad? The only time I've taken a reading on this, with it running, the voltage kept climbing, which tells me the voltage regulator is charging, excuse me, the alternator was charging, but in my mind, it's not being regulated by the voltage regulator because it kept climbing. It didn't stop at 14 volts around that area where it should. So, I don't know. I don't want to ruin a battery. So maybe I'll put the old original battery in here, just because I know that one's already trash, and then jump start it and get a voltage reading and see if it's still, if the voltage regulator is working. Why wouldn't this turn over? I don't think it's a starter problem. I mean, it could, I guess, multiple problems. The reason it isn't turning over, I guess, maybe could be a starter, but usually, man, I'm a little stumped right now, I guess. So I'm gonna call it a night, and like I said, I'll take this battery out, put the old battery back in, and maybe another night I'll try jump starting it and get a voltage reading. But it's getting late. I'm gonna head into the house for the night. If I get this thing, if I get back to working on this again, because I mean it's February, it's early February, so I'm gonna have to plow again. So I need to get this baby running. So I'll have to figure something out. But thanks for watching. Hit the like button, subscribe, give me a comment. You know the drill. It all helps the channel. And I answer every comment myself. So I like seeing them. If you got any idea what might be going on, this is a Dauntless V6 with the alternator with an external voltage regulator. So if you got any ideas, help me out. Leave a comment. I'd appreciate it. Thanks for watching.